Hi guys, this is Shannon. Thanks for joining me on the channel tonight. This is No Shelf Control. I'm coming back to you with another single book review, and this one I highly recommend and hope you will check out. I believe that this one came to me in a book box, in like a book subscription where books were handpicked for me. And I have to say they did a tremendous job picking this one. This book is called These Ghosts Are Family, and I show you my actual copy because it is waterlogged and beat up and thoroughly enjoyed. My story is that I had this book with me in Florida last year. We went to Florida with some friends, and I read this book in the pool in one day. Now, my friends thought it was ridiculous that I was standing in the pool reading this book. It's not like I was swimming with it. I wasn't going under the water. I was just standing in the pool up against the side, nice and cool, reading my book. I didn't, they were laying in loungers. I wasn't being unsocial. And I was in the pool reading my book. And I thought it was a perfect way to consume a book. And I really enjoyed this one and consumed it in an afternoon. So let me tell you a little bit more about it. It's These Ghosts Are Family by Maisie Card. And the blurb on the front of the book says, marvelous. Card is a natural-born storyteller. And that is from the Washington Post. It also says that it was shortlisted for the Center for Fiction First Novel Prize. And that doesn't surprise me at all. I really loved this book. So let me tell you more about it. It was published March 3rd, 2020 by Simon & Schuster, and it's 271 pages. So not very big. It's not in the 300s. And as I said, I got through it really quickly. It is set in Jamaica and New York City, parts of Harlem, but New York City in general. It got a lot of literary awards. I'm not going to read all of those to you, but I will read you the synopsis. It says, a transporting debut novel that reveals the ways in which a Jamaican family forms and fractures over generations in the tradition of homegoing by Ya Jessie, which I loved. Stanford Solomon has a shocking 30-year-old secret, and it's about to change the lives of everyone around him. Stanford Solomon is actually Abel Paisley, a man who faked his own death and stole the identity of his best friend. And now, nearing the end of his life, Stanford is about to meet his firstborn daughter, Irene Paisley, a home health aide who has unwittingly shown up for her first day of work to tend to the father she thought was dead. These Ghosts Are Family revolves around the consequences of Abel's decision and tells the story of the Paisley family from colonial Jamaica to present-day Harlem. There is Vera, whose widowhood forced her into the role of a single mother. There are 2 daughters and a granddaughter who have never known they are related. And there are others, like the houseboy who loved Vera, whose lives might have taken different courses if not for Abel Paisley's actions. These Ghosts Are Family explores the way each character wrestles with their ghosts and struggles to forge independent identities outside of the family and their trauma. The result is an engrossing portrait of a family and individuals caught in the sweep of history, slavery, migration, and the more personal dramas of infidelity, lost love, and regret. This electric and luminous family saga announces the arrival of a new American talent. So a debut novel, took a chance on it, absolutely loved it. I have to say, I loved the parts of the book that were written in Jamaica most of all. It's written with the Jamaican accent in the writing, so you definitely get a feel for how the dialogue sounds, that lyrical kind of lilt that people speak English with in Jamaica. And I loved that. I loved the way the stories were interwoven. There were several times when, as I went from one story, because this is a collection of stories, they all go together, but they're very separate. And so I often had to go back and look 2, 3, 4 stories back and go, now wait, who is this? What is his relationship with Abel Paisley? But I didn't mind. I liked doing that work, and I liked the fact that the connections were a little bit surprising, that I was like, oh, this is his grandson, or, oh, that woman is his niece, and this is her son. Okay. And then as they travel from Jamaica to New York City, things change, and, the setting changes, the way time has also passed. And so things become more modern, a little bit more, familiar to a reader like me. I've never lived in Jamaica. I don't have that experience, but lots of, and you know, based on the title, These Ghosts Are Family, there is a lot of, gosh, what do you call it? Like supernatural kind of belief systems, you know, people who believe in haunts and other kinds of ghosts that, you know, are part of the family or part of the landscape or what have you. There are little mysteries throughout the book, things that happen to a set of young girls that we're not real clear about how that happened or why that happened. Trying to figure out, you know, whether or not the family is going to discover that Stanford Solomon is really Abel Paisley, and the backstory for how that happened. So obviously the Stanford Solomon becoming Abel Paisley is not a spoiler. It's right there in the synopsis and at the very beginning of the book. But it's interesting to see how that came about and what caused Stanford Solomon to take over his friend's identity. So I just loved these stories. They were short, but very full. They just felt like they had a lot of content, a lot of plot. The characters were incredibly well drawn. And I really just enjoyed every bit of it. So if you have the patience to follow a thread through some stories and figure out who belongs with whom, this might be a book that you will absolutely love, and I highly recommend it. So again, that's These Ghosts Are Family by Maisie Card. I hope you will check it out. If you enjoy these single book reviews that I've been doing lately, click like and subscribe. It lets me know that this is something that you're interested in and that I should do more of. I've been doing some book reviews on books that I'm just now reading that have just come out, but also some backlist. This is a little bit backlist, but not too far. 2020. But, you know, let me know that this is something that you enjoy. It would help me a great deal. I also do have my wish list at the bottom of the video description. If you want to gift me with a book from bookshop.org, go check out that wish list. They will send the book to me directly and I will read it, review it, and give you a shout out on the channel. I actually have one of those that I'm doing tomorrow from someone who generously gave me a book. So I would love it if you would like to do that as well. I have a number of other short book reviews coming up in the near future. I have long lists of brand new books that are coming out that I'm excited about. I've had to break some of them into several videos just to get them done. And I can't wait to keep talking all things bookish with you. I hope you'll come back and we'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.